Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Brew, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing amazing stories of top realtors and how they got there so we can help make more realtors great. So let's jump in today with our guest, Kristen Carter. Welcome, Kristen.
Thanks for having me.
I like to start with some things that are a little bit more personal, and some of this stuff really does lead into real estate stuff, but some really cool stuff about Kristen. One professional photographer before real estate. I'm sure there's a great bridge into real estate. Also, she has an AI group of agents of 10,000 agents at the end of this. Definitely want Kristen to give you her Facebook page so you guys can all join. I think that is awesome. I definitely want to talk about that. But really amazing is she's in Arizona. And when she had two kids with her husband, they were looking at a place to move. I guess she said, put your fingers on a map, had no one there, and chose Arizona. So what a life story. People tend to usually have some reason they go to some area. So I love it. Says a lot about you and your husband, but tell us the story.
So yeah, our daughters were 5 and 3 at the time, or approximately that. And our oldest was in kindergarten, and we got a notice that her school was going to be closing. So she was going to have to switch schools for first grade anyway. And we had lived our entire lives in the Central Valley of California and thought about it. And we were like, let's try something else. Worst case, we come back, but let's just try and branch out while the girls are still little. They don't have like firm roots at school or anything. So now's our chance. So we did. My husband put out some job applications. My only requirement was that it had to be a 1 day's drive to be back home because all our family was still in the Central Valley. And so he put applications out to Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Nevada, and Arizona. I had only ever been to Nevada before at that time. I'd never been to Arizona in my life. And Phoenix called first. And so he loaded up his car and drove out to Arizona for a job interview, got the job. And then my brother-in-law and sister said, hey, we'll move too. So my brother-in-law came with him. They found a rental house. And so we moved our two families into the rental house and shared the upstairs and downstairs. And then right before our move, about 3 weeks before our move, my mom said, wait a minute, you're taking all my grandkids. You can't move without me. And so she made room in the moving truck and she moved too. And so we went from thinking we're going to move to a state with nobody to having my sister and my brother-in-law, their daughter, my mom, and then my younger brother, who was 18 at the time, hopped in the moving truck and said, I'll come for the weekend to help you guys unpack. And then he never left. So it ended up being all of us landing in Mesa, Arizona, and we got established. We found our village. We put down some roots, and slowly they all started moving back. So my sister and her girls moved back to California. My mom followed to care for my grandparents. And then we're lucky enough that my brother is still here. He found a wife and they have a beautiful baby. And so we're still here.
Wow, what a great, great story. Wow, I love that. So many people would not take that risk and not approach it that way. And it's beautiful to hear, the success and obviously how happy you are. So tell us about how
that 15 years now that we've been here.
Wow. I've been to Arizona. I know how beautiful it is. So it just, I'm sure you're just really enjoying it. So how do you get involved? So you get there. Is that when you become a professional photographer? Is that kind of the first thing that...
I was already a photographer at that time. So I actually had to split my business between the two states because I had weddings and photo sessions booked in California at that time. So I was flying and driving back and forth for work until I established myself here as a photographer. Built a huge business here, which was amazing. So I was able to transition to only having to go to California to visit family and occasionally do photos, but I built my business here. I ended up in Gilbert, Arizona after a friend told me about this amazing neighborhood, and I went and checked it out and was like, this is where I need to live. And so came here, built my business, and that's actually what brought me into real estate. Was I was doing photos for this awesome real estate agent, and I saw her and what she was building with her business and how she was all about relationships, and my business was all about relationships. And there was just this connection, and our kids were friends. And so we became friends. And so then in 2017, I took her to coffee and I said, Melanie, I've got this idea. Like, we want to buy a house. I need to make some more money. I don't want to open a studio and I don't want to shoot weddings full time. I'm thinking about real estate. Like, tell me this is crazy. And she looked at me and she said she goes, no, it's not crazy. She goes, I've just joined Keller Williams. They teach the team model. I'm really thinking about growing a team. Would you like to join my team as a buyer's agent? And I was like, yes, let's do this. Like, I'm in. I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about real estate, but I will get my license and I will learn. I will make it happen. And that was 7 years ago. And I'm still on her team. And we have amazing team members now. We've got a director of operations. We have awesome behind the scenes marketing person. We've got another great full-time agent on our team, and we're having a great time. I mean, we sell a lot of real estate. We help a lot of people. It's awesome.
It's really, really something, and I can understand, like, again, the helping, which is just seems to be part of the DNA of agents,
Yeah.
one way or another, wherever they come from, something in their life, they are into helping people. Yeah, the money's great. Yes, especially when you get to the level of a successful agent, right?
Yeah.
But helping people does seem to, and I can see the same way, having hired some digital photographers for my kids' weddings, and it is very personal. And the great photographers then create this relationship to make, like, the couple feel comfortable and everyone at the wedding. So I can definitely see the transition. Now, shooting houses is another story.
Yeah, no, I don't do our own photography. That's what everybody asks too. They're like, "Oh, do you shoot your own?" Nope. We have a professional photographer who knows real estate photography and they're great at it. I like photographing people and pets, not houses.
Okay. All right. So now you get started. Awesome, right? You get under her wing, got your license, you get training. Tell us about, like, those first 2 years or so getting going. How was it?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so being part of a team is probably the best way to do this because you get all the details and all the behind the scenes, and you have somebody there that you can call or text or bug all the time. And she had patience for all of that, which was great. But yeah, her mentorship definitely launched me from a brand new baby agent to actually knowing what I was doing. Now she has 21 years of experience. And so I got to, like, unlock all of that information, which was fantastic. So yeah, so first 2 years in the business, I was buyer's agent, literally just out showings and helping people and learning how to use a CRM and learning how to follow up with people and getting all those steps and process and systems in place to set me up for a successful career. I think one of the biggest mindset things for new agents is to keep in mind that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So yes, while it's fun to chase the shiny and the new and the go find the new leads, if you build on the relationships that you already have, you're going to have a long career. You're going to have success because you're showing value to people who already know you and like you. And
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yep. Yep. No, very, very well said. Yeah. And that is, like, staying connected and like your point of the marathon, right? If you can get over that hump, those couple of years, and build that database, that's the gold mine, right? Is
Yeah.
having that data. It's always great. You can always get new things coming in from leads, right? From the community, whatever you're doing. But when you get to where you are, right, you're in this thing now 7 years or so, right? And then get into the 10, 20, it is that database that you have that if you can consistently communicate well, you are going to be set really for life
Yeah.
and have fun.
That's exactly it. Well, and that's the other thing too, is that if you can find the lead generation techniques that bring you joy and fit within your style and what makes you happy to go to work every day, then you're going to last that marathon. If you're trying to do things that are against your nature, and I mean, you're a relationship person and you're being forced to cold call, you're not going to like it and it's not going to last. So that's the other thing too, is for newer agents who are within those first 2 years, try everything. See how it works, see how you like it, see how it feels, and then stick with the things that you actually want to do on a regular basis. I mean, I have friends who are agents that go out golfing, and golfing is their lead gen. They go out every Saturday, they take out a different foursome. That's their lead gen time. And it's amazing. They get to golf and talk and do. Like, you can't beat that.
So, right. And the ones that find their niche, this is what I've seen, interviewing, I'm into a few dozen now agents. When you can find a niche, whatever it is, running, like you said, golf, maybe it's an alumni group. You went to a giant Big Ten school or something, right? You love that. To your point, right? It makes it so much easier to connect. And, then when the time comes, right, no one's just, you're not selling someone a house that doesn't want to buy a
No,
house, right? This
right.
became, right? It's their lifestyle situation. So if it could be within your niche that you enjoy, what could be better than marrying the two together?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To your point, that's exactly it. I mean, realtors, our job is not to convince people to buy or sell. Like, we're never going to tell somebody, you have to move right now, go do that. It's, they've already thought of it. Now they need the extra steps. They need the guidance. They need the information. And we happen to be there in front of them at that time.
Right. Excellent. Yeah. So now, okay, you got this going, right? Those, 2, 3 years, you got this rolling now, getting more comfortable in the business. I'm sure doing well. Tell us like some of the challenges that you faced, scaling, like then, once you knew you had the success, but you wanted to get to the next level.
Yeah, the biggest thing, and that's actually why I'm still on the team, because the scalability and the leverage that we have as part of the team is one of the main reasons why I stay, in addition to just being with amazing women on my team. The fact that I can do the things that I need to do that are dollar producing, and then our team can handle the other things. So just having that leverage for the paperwork, for the process, knowing that I have somebody to cover me so I can actually go on vacations and have work-life balance. It's huge, because I know a lot of solo agents that their work is 24/7. And again, that's not the lifestyle I want. I have 3 kids. I have 4 dogs. I have a husband I actually like. We've been married 20 years. I want to see them. I want to spend time with them. And so having that leverage and those tools and the systems that we have make that so much easier, gives our clients a 5-star experience, and then allows me not to burn out. So that's really what we've done, is over the 7 years that we've been together, she's really built out all those systems and brought in the right people to make it successful for our agents.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great advice. It's that like life work balance, right? And this is an industry where it is Saturday, Sundays, open houses. I have a couple of agents I've spoken to, 15 years of open houses, loves it, right? Built her whole career. But now she has the people to go to the open houses, right? Her weekends are free. She did say like early on, she started keeping Sundays. She was not going to go out, and had other people on the team that can then go out, do the open house on a Sunday. But finding that work-life balance, a little bit challenging, right? A little bit more for
Yeah,
agents, because the weekends are when the consumers want to be looking and showing homes.
exactly. Well, and for me, so I mean, again, as buyer's agent for as long as I was, weekends were a work day for me, but that meant that I then took a different day. And so my days off usually were like Wednesdays, just like a random middle of the week day to get my stuff done, do what I needed to do, and then jump right back into it. And so that's really where, like, you do have to find that balance and figure out, like, okay, what's my non-negotiables, what works for me, and how do I build in rest?
Yeah. So have you moved to the seller side? You talked a lot about the buyer agent
I
side.
have. Yeah. So recently, so as of last year, I'm now doing both selling and buying. And that was a big transition too, to wrap my head around, going from just helping buyers to also helping sellers. But it's been a really fun journey and a really fun process of learning something new. And it's going well. So I'm definitely not going to complain about it. It's been very nice. And so it's fun to help people who are doing both and be their contact for that.
Right. No, very, very good. So tell me a little bit about um, this AI group. Okay. Because like, as I'm not here to talk about agent moves, but this is a company that's built with a lot of AI. It's really to help agents like you, right, that are doing this 7 years plus with a good database, kind of automate, keep it personalized and so forth, right? And AI is obviously a huge piece to this. People are very afraid of it in a lot of ways, especially agents
Yes.
that really are, like you said, relationship people, not didn't come maybe from corporate America or really around a lot of this. So tell me about this group. How did you build it? I think you said you have about 10,000 Facebook members now. So I'd love to
Yeah.
hear about it.
So I didn't start it, but I was part of the co-admin from the beginning. So Dylan out of Asheville, North Carolina, his name's Dylan Lennon. He started the group. Super awesome dude. He saw where it was going. We were getting nerdy in conversation, and he was like, I'm just going to start a mastermind group. And I was like, great, I'm in. Let me know how to help, what we can do. We were expecting maybe a couple hundred people. Like, we were not expecting it to grow near as fast as it did. But because we got into it and started this group right around the beginning of ChatGPT. So we were just playing with it and we were like, yeah, let's just share some information about it. Like, let's show other agents how we are using it, talk about the things that people are doing. And so we started this group and people just kept adding and adding and adding. And so we hit 10,000 members, I don't know, 9 months in, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was huge. It was amazing. And so, yeah, so I run monthly webinars in our group. And we actually have all sorts of amazing guests who come on and talk about the things that they're doing with AI and really just trying to help agents. Like you said, there's a lot of people who are fearful about it. And so trying to get over that fear and show them that it's another tool. It's not, I firmly believe it is not the replacement for real estate agents unless we let it be our replacement. It is an awesome tool. It helps you do the back end stuff, helps you do the systems, the processes, so you can stay face to face with your clients. You can be out in the community. You can be out serving. You can be out doing rather than sitting behind your desk writing a contract and working on the other stuff that can be done automated. And then you just review. So like there's plenty of ways to steal minutes back and those minutes turn into hours.
Yeah, very, very good. Yeah. I've watched some of the big corporations, incorporating the early days, right, of AI, Microsoft, working with some of the giant banks and what they've been doing, contracts particularly, right? All of that, that's it. It just ends, right? You press a button and then you can make your changes to this. It's, dramatically different. And then, take ChatGPT now and how it could be used in marketing has just been, every
Absolutely.
day we use it and think about, boy, if we had this 20 years ago, can't
Well,
imagine what
think
we would have
back
done.
to when contracts were paper, things had to be faxed. Everything, your MLS was a binder and a book. I mean, the internet came out and everyone went, oh my gosh, there goes the industry.
Okay.
And instead, it's become this awesome tool for us. And again, we're able to save time and do more things and spend more time with our people, whether that's clients or loved ones. And so it's the same thing. Like in my book, AI came out and it's a tool for us to embrace and use. And because we're so still in the beginning of it, there's no hard and fast experts. Everything's changing so fast that somebody who hasn't jumped in yet could jump in today and theoretically catch themselves up within the year.
Yep.
So it's not like just because they didn't start a year and a half ago, like some of us, they're so far behind. No, jump in. Like we're all still new to this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think agents have a worry personally, right? Yes, there'll always be a small group of very tech savvy people that are going to want to do things themselves, find their home, right? Negotiate, look at analyze it, not pick. It's going to be so small. This is the largest purchase of your life, the biggest thing you're ever I want someone with me, holding my
Yeah.
hand, helping me, showing me, right? To
Yeah.
not do something bad, make that mistake so I
Well,
I think the agent's life is safe.
let's talk like car industry. That's the second biggest purchase that most people make. And yes, there are some models that are basically do it yourself, click the button, go pick up the car. But how many sales does that actually account for? And how many people are out there looking for cars and going to a dealership to do it because they do want that information and they do want to test drive and they do want to see and they want to ask questions. Like that's the second biggest purchase of someone's life and they're not all doing it by themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So let's close with, you've given some great advice here today. This is perfect. It couldn't have gone any better. Leave our agents with something, maybe something you're going to do this year to help you scale in your business that you can share with us.
So one thing that I've started doing already, and I'm absolutely loving it, is I started organizing micro outings for my neighbors. So I feel like the community has, a lot of people just don't know your neighbors. And so if I can be the one to get everybody together and organize things, I don't have to pay for it, but I'm happy to plan it. And so we've got a book club, we've got pub nights, we go to trivia, we're going to do a wine tour. So there's all sorts of different things that I'm putting out there for my neighborhood as just like social ways to get together. And it brings me joy. So there's the one thing, like find your legion in your joy zone. So that's a big one for me. And then two, I'm getting to know people that are literally my neighbors and live in my community. And hopefully when the time comes, they'll call me for real estate. So get involved. Like if you're a relationship person, find a way to be the organizer. You don't have to pay for it. Like, you can just be the one who puts it all together. And people love that because they don't have time to do it themselves. So be the planner for them.
Great advice. Love that. Love that. I spoke to someone recently. I was really surprised. She does NCAA football weekend parties, open house for the neighborhood. Come
Fun.
join. That's her thing. To your point of joy, she loves college football. That was
Yeah.
her thing. And boom, right? And,
Yeah.
integrate your joy with things that are going to, help build relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Thank you so much, Kristen. This was just awesome. Do you want to give the name of the website, your AI website? Yeah.
So our AI group is called Chat GPT and AI Mastermind for Real Estate. And when you find it on Facebook, there's a purple banner at the top.
Okay, perfect. And follow Kristen Carter on Facebook, on Instagram, on social. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well and follow us. And until the next time, Kristen, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.